This chilling clip was captured by a home security camera while the family living there was away at work. The house had been left completely empty, which is exactly why cameras had recently been installed throughout several rooms. For days, the family had been returning home to find small but unsettling signs that something wasn't right. Objects left on the floor, drawers hanging open, and items moved from places they were certain they had left them. At first, they suspected someone might be entering the house while the family were gone. But after repeatedly checking every door and window and finding no sign of forced entry, they set up cameras to find out what was happening inside the empty house. It didn't take long before the footage captured something deeply unsettling. In the recording, a drawer suddenly slides open on its own. Then, moments later, objects begin dropping from a nearby surface one after another, as if something unseen is moving through the room and knocking them aside. When the family returned later that day, the house looked exactly as it did in the footage. Drawers left open, objects scattered across the floor, even furniture slightly out of place. Some viewers believe there could still be a normal explanation: loose shelving, vibrations, or even small animals hidden somewhere inside the walls. But others say the movement feels far too deliberate for that. Whether this was an unusual coincidence, an intruder somehow staying out of view, or something far more disturbing caught on camera, no one knows for sure. But one detail makes the footage even more unsettling. Whatever caused the chaos in that room appeared to still be inside the house while the cameras were recording. And according to the family, they still have no explanation for what really happened. This unsettling video was recorded by a woman who believes something inside her home has become disturbingly interested in her two children. For months, she had been noticing small things that didn't feel right. Her daughter would suddenly wake in the middle of the night, crying and pointing toward empty corners of the room. On some nights, she refused to sleep at all, insisting that someone was standing near the bed, watching them. And more than once, toys were found moved to places no one remembered putting them. She tried to dismiss it as imagination, stress, anything but something paranormal. But then one night, her camera captured something she could no longer ignore. She doesn't own any pets, and yet the footage appears to show what looks like a hand suddenly pulling the cord. Some viewers believe it could be the spirit of a child, the kind of presence often described in paranormal activity cases as curious, playful, and drawn toward other children. But others warn that not everything presents itself honestly. In many disturbing hauntings, something can appear small or harmless at first, only to gain trust and access. And that's what makes this creepy footage especially unsettling. The activity doesn't seem random. It centers on the children's room, their toys, and their beds. The mother says she wants to believe she's only being paranoid, but after seeing this, it's hard not to wonder, is this just fear taking over? Or is something unseen actually reaching out to her kids? I'll let you decide. A man named Elegius says he recently bought a strange secondhand camera from a local market. At first glance, the device looked old, worn, and oddly unsettling. Dark red stains were visible on parts of the body, something the seller quickly brushed off as rust. Because of its condition, the camera was sold for almost nothing. Curious, Elegius decides to take it home, clean it up, and see if it still works.
Estaba bastante adherida para hacer pintura. Olía un poco a óxido. Veamos si aún funciona. No quería encender. Ahora sí. Veamos lo que hay en la memoria.
While carefully cleaning the small vents and edges of the camera, Elegius notices something disturbing. The smell coming from inside isn't just old metal. It smells strongly like rust, or something very similar. Still, aside from that strange odor, the camera appears to be in working condition. But the moment he inserts fresh batteries and powers it on, the atmosphere in the room suddenly changes. His dog, who had been calm moments earlier, begins reacting aggressively toward the camera, growling, staring, as if something about it feels very wrong.
Tuco, mira,
A Tuco
una
no
foto.
le gusta la cámara.
Ven, Tuco, ven. Tuco, ven. Ven, mira, Tuco. Una foto, Tuco. No. Mira, Tuco. No, Tuco. Ey. Ya, bueno, ya.
Ever since bringing the camera home, his dog wouldn't stop barking at it, almost obsessively. The animal kept its distance, staring at the device as if something about it felt wrong. After testing the camera and taking a few photos, Elegius decides to check the storage to see where the images were being saved. That's when he notices something strange. There's already a memory card inside, and on that card, several folders. Curious, he opens them. What he finds inside is disturbing enough to make him stop recording for a moment. Take a close look.
Revisemos qué hay en la memoria. Aún no le había revisado. Son fotos de una familia. Parece que viven en Estados Unidos. Todo se ve muy normal. Esta foto me sacó un susto. La siguiente carpeta son las fotos que yo tomé. Última carpeta. Parece ser su casa de noche. Todo está muy desordenado. Es obvio lo que está regado en el suelo. Realmente no sé qué opinar. La última foto. ¿Qué debería de hacer?
Curious, and now a little uneasy, Eligius decides to check the files stored inside the camera.
Me acabo de enterar de algo muy extraño. Mirando la metadata de una de las fotos, me acabo de dar cuenta de que las imágenes fueron tomadas con otro modelo de cámara que no corresponde a la que compré. Dice que fueron tomadas con una Nikon, pero la cámara que compré es una Kodak. También me deja pensando el extraño nombre de la SD.
Looking closely at the image metadata, Eligius discovers something strange. The photos were originally taken using a Nikon camera, yet the device he purchased is clearly a Kodak, meaning the disturbing images had been transferred from another camera before ending up here. Why someone would move these files and then sell the camera is unclear. But considering the eerie photos and his dog's sudden reaction, Eligius begins to wonder if the camera might be connected to something far more disturbing. And in the world of creepy footage, disturbing photos, and unexplained paranormal mysteries, sometimes secondhand items carry more history than you expect. Let me know what you think. This ghost video is from a man named Nate, who is still trying to figure out what exactly is happening inside his home. He says he's been hearing heavy footsteps when no one else is there. Loud walking sounds moving from room to room, doors slowly creaking open, and, on some nights, faint whispers when the house should be completely silent. He's also waking up to find things moved from where he left them. And even more unsettling, his dog sometimes refuses to go into certain areas of the house, just staring into empty space as if it sees something Nate can't. And that's what makes cases like this so disturbing. Home is supposed to feel safe. For Nate, it no longer does.
I'm literally hearing walking, like right next to me, and swore I heard a muffled voice. It was like I hope the camera's picking that up. I hope my phone is picking that up. What the f*** is that?
What you're hearing in the footage doesn't sound like an ordinary house settling. It sounds more like something moving back and forth, fast, with low, muffled voices somewhere in the background. Some believe this could be a form of residual haunting, energy repeating the same actions again and again. But others think it may be something much more active and far more dangerous. And according to Nate, it didn't stop after that. The pacing, the stomping, the strange sounds continued for weeks. Then one morning, while he was working out alone, he heard something else.
Hey guys, I'm hoping the phone picks this up. I was working out in here stomping. Right above me is my bedroom. I really hope the phone is picking that up. It was so loud that I actually dropped the weight. hope it's picking that up. Oh my God. What is that? I'm shaking right now. I don't know what the
Toward the end of the video, a voice can reportedly be heard saying, "You need me." That detail is what makes this paranormal clip especially unsettling. Some believe words like that suggest attachment, when whatever is present no longer sees itself as separate from the person, but connected to them, dependent on them, or worse, convinced that the person belongs to it. And if that's really what's happening here, then leaving the house may not solve anything. Because the problem wouldn't be the location anymore. It would be Nate himself. In many disturbing haunting cases, entities are said to watch, wait, and slowly make their presence known until the person begins to feel singled out, not for comfort, but for control. Now Nate says he's seriously considering leaving the house, but after hearing those words, he's no longer sure that would help, because if something in that home truly believes he needs it, it may have no intention of letting him go. If you were in Nate's position, would you stay and try to understand it? Or leave, knowing it might follow? This scary video was recorded by a woman named Morgan, just days after losing one of her closest friends. They weren't casual friends. They spoke every day, shared routines, inside jokes, even morning workouts together. So when Morgan got the call that her friend had passed away, she says it didn't feel real. For days, she moved through the house in a haze, half expecting her phone to light up with a message that would never come. Grief can do strange things to the mind, but a few days later, Morgan says she started hearing sounds that reminded her of her friend's voice. At first, she tried to explain it away as part of the mourning process, the mind reaching for what it misses most. But then doors began opening on their own. Objects tied to her friend, things with sentimental value, seemed to shift from where Morgan remembered leaving them. One morning, she heard the voice again. This time, she grabbed her phone to record. The whispering stopped, but she captured something else. The door to the room slowly opens by itself, the same room where her friend used to do her morning workouts. Morgan says she was completely alone that morning, so if no one else was there, who opened it? After the people she confided in blamed everything on grief, she decided to install security cameras in the house. And then, one night, the cameras captured this. One of the stools appears to move on its own, and if you look closely, you can even see the reflection of light from the door flicker. Morgan later explains that this exact stool had been her friend's favorite. She was so particular about it that if someone sat there while the other stool was empty, she'd jokingly complain. That's where the theory splits in two. If you believe in after-death communication, some say spirits use familiar objects, personal things tied to memory, as a way of saying, I'm still here, but there's another possibility. And it's much darker. Paranormal researchers often warn that intense grief can leave someone emotionally vulnerable. And if there really is something in the house, it may not be her friend at all. It could be something else entirely. Something mimicking her voice, using personal details and trying to be welcomed in. Have you ever experienced anything strange after losing someone? And if you have, how did you deal with it? This terrifying footage dates back to 2014 and was reportedly captured by an Office C CTV camera late at night, long after everyone had gone home. In the footage, a dark shape appears near the doorway, then slowly crawls toward a desk before slipping out of view. At first, the most obvious explanation seemed simple: a rat. But when viewers slowed the clip down, the figure appeared far stranger than that. It didn't seem fully solid. There was no clear tail, no visible features, no distinct head shape. Instead, it looked more like a moving shadow than a living animal. Some paranormal researchers believe figures like this could be linked to intelligent spirits, lingering negative energy, or even unexplained entities crossing briefly into our reality. Whatever was caught on that office camera left no physical trace behind. Only the footage captured it, leaving staff to wonder whether the strange after-hours disturbances they'd experienced were never coincidences at all. This clip was recorded by a family security camera, installed only after everyone in the house woke up to a loud bang in the middle of the night. That sound was followed by several other disturbing incidents they couldn't explain, and eventually the family decided they needed cameras to see what was happening when no one was looking. So they set them up, and before long, they captured this. Take a look. Aside from the obvious sound of breathing in the footage, viewers quickly notice something else. On the right side of the screen, near the staircase, something appears to move, and when the family reviewed the clip, it seemed to connect with other strange moments they had already experienced. Just weeks earlier, one of the sister's relatives called and asked why she had been standing on the front porch. The problem is, she wasn't home. She was at work, nowhere near the house. And after that, the tension inside the home only got worse, especially when the dogs started reacting.
is wrong, Connor? Stop barking. Connor! Knock it off! Hey! Wait. Rapping at the door again. No one's there. Go on at Quee. No one's there, honey. Nobody's here. It's all good. It's all good in the hood.
The dog repeatedly barks at the door, staring at it with complete focus, not playful, not distracted, but fixed on it, as if responding to something it can sense that the rest of the family can't. In many paranormal stories, animals are said to notice subtle changes long before people do, shifts in sound, movement, or the presence of something unseen. And when you combine that with everything else the family says they experienced, the breathing caught on camera, the movement on the stairs, the possible mimic seen on the porch, and the dogs reacting to empty space, this no longer feels like one isolated event. It starts to feel like a pattern. So is this just anxiety, coincidence, and a series of misread moments? Or is something inside that house slowly making itself known, watching, copying, and waiting? You decide. A man is simply recording an update for his followers. He explains that lately he's been posting political videos instead of his usual original content. Not because he wants to change his channel, but because he recently lost hours at work and is now trying to find a new job. According to him, political content gets more attention. And right now views matter. But while he's in the middle of filming that update, something unexpected happens. Watch closely.
Alright guys, I'm gonna try and make this one quick. This is just kind of update video. People have been wondering why I've been uploading so many news clips, so many political videos, and why I haven't been uploading any original content lately. As you should know, the American election just happened, and, I was getting kind of one video, if you follow my channel, you would know it has 28,000 views, and I tried essentially recreating that, and getting a lot of views, through those political videos, unsuccessfully, might I add. Basically, where I'm getting at is, in order to fill in the lack of original videos, I've been doing these political clip videos, and the reasoning behind that is because here at home, things are a little difficult. I didn't lose my job, but I lost a lot of hours, and I'm looking for new employment, which is inhibiting me from creating new content. Makes it a lot easier for me if I can just, find a video clip of some politician or some news anchor saying something really stupid and get some views from that, than it is. It's easier for me to get views from that than it is, new content at the moment. So just what I'm saying is bear with me. The f yeah. It was pretty f***ing weird. Got that on tape. Yeah, that. I know you guys aren't gonna believe that really just happened, but as you can see, there's no one in the room with me here. I've kind of chose this room because it was the only room in my house without someone in here. Yeah, that was fucking weird, guys. This isn't. It's a string, right? But that's just kind of an Ethernet cable. You could, Hey guys, it's pretty fucking weird.
Cases like this are unsettling because they often seem to begin in small ways. Subtle disturbances, objects shifting, electronics acting strangely, before escalating into something much harder to ignore. There's also another detail that stands out here. He openly mentions stress, work problems, financial pressure, and sudden change. And in many paranormal stories, heightened emotional states are believed to attract unexplained activity, as if intense energy draws attention from something unseen. Hopefully this was nothing more than a one-time incident, and not the beginning of something deciding to make itself known.